Northeption defending first. And oddly enough, we haven't seen this map actually played all too much at all in the beginning of Stage 1. A couple of surprise picks for both CAG and Northeption starting up this first best 3 series, and a bit of a surprise ban, it seems, by Northeption, removing the Nook off the bat. It kind of makes sense for a larger map such as Bank, where a lot of those lurking attackers can get away with a lot and cause chaos when it comes to that roam clear. And the same thing kind of applies to Dokkaebi. So given the context of how this map normally plays out, these bans make sense, but now there's a huge emphasis on hard breach potential now for the offense, with having a load of range hard breach available to them and EMPs.
Okay, interesting with the CAG ban. Personally, my personal feeling is if the Thatch is still on the board, bringing the CAG is fairly redundant with how easy the hatches are going to be to be able to take. But maybe that Cyclops just being like, okay, we'll remove the CAG. There's guaranteed no way to deny those hatches. We don't have to bring an EMP, and we can just kind of get on with it.
Gotta agree, that's probably the main idea of that. So you can have both your team and perhaps your opponents opt to bring a little bit more utility focused on stalling for that basement floor. That's normally where you see the CAG played, is only in CCTV and lockers. And based on the operators that Northeption are bringing out, you could probably put 2 and 2 together that they're going to be trying to defend that basement floor bomb site, and that will be the case. They've got tons of stall potential with the Vulcan packs, and also having the Yokais available, with D-Bar opting, or Fairbar, my mistake, opting to bring out the Echo Shotgun to help with rotates, and I guess play a little bit closer, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see where he wants to set up here as the Echo. But there also is a big emphasis on the roam as well by Northeption, having the Legion to gather info and Shu to be able to be rather versatile with the Reba dashes. It allows them to not have all their eggs put into one basket.
Yeah, the rotations are going to be quite big, especially with Nina on that Legion as well. The extra Gumais for that information. It'd be pretty big. You can see already the security hatch broken. So it gives that all through, and already you can see sprinting up by Cyclops. Try and get into position. Get closer, get a bit of information. Will Northeption get taken off guard? That is the question. And to be honest, are Cyclops even going to deal with this roam presence, or are they just going to focus all on the objective and deal with it based on the flanks?
Seems like they've got a pretty heavy emphasis on just trying to get into server as quickly as possible, maybe having a few people holding some cut-off angles, but it seems like now there's been a bit of a lapse in judgment here for Cyclops. They're beginning to put a little bit of pressure on these window repels outside of the building, looking into both top square and CEO, while there's also a couple players beginning to drone out this top and middle floor. Chibi spots out the Legion playing over an Archive, so his job will probably be to go all the way up above and get some vertical down with that skeleton key, unless they were to try to go direct, but with no one pushing in from E-Box, it seems like they might end up going for a full clear, perhaps, or at the very least just establishing a little bit of flank watch here just to make sure no one can try to push up from blue stairs late round.
Oh, fantastic play with the Yokai first with the yellow ping, combined with Nina just slipping out on the Legion. Beautiful kill, but there is a trade. Fury has gone down, so that Oryx, that whole rotation play for late round and being able to rotate and get those flanks going, that has completely disappeared. Nitrocell goes out as well, along with the Goya Vulcan as well. That's more utility burnt from the ends of Northeption. There's still that 4-on-4 as things settle. Looks like Cyclops is looking for that plant. If they can get close enough, they're just worried about what other utility is available for Northeption.
Cyclops, everybody got alert going down. This could be huge, and I think we saw for a second there, Arcoli is actually working his way down by Garage. Yes, so if Arcoli is able to get a bit of info, maybe stir up the pot here, maybe push away Sayo-chan, for example, who's stacked over by Garage, a really good position to deny that plant from range. This could actually still be a playable moment here for Cyclops in these final 50 seconds.
There's the smoke going down. Susie's going to try and stake the plant. Volcan goes out. Yokai trying to find it, but no, just a little bit too late. The swing out from Favor. It's not enough. Yuki's might have traded back one, but it's looking like it's going to be a very, very tough retake from behind. Going down to server, down blue stairs. The Solus is going to be peeking around the corner, but there's also one on the hatch. There's the drop coming through. Nina gets one, looking for the second. pushing through into sight. They know where the diffuser is, starting to stick it. But here's Cyclops to try and defend the defuse. But Nina might just take it. No! Suzu comes out from the last second, gets the double kill. That is the round. Cyclops takes the first on the board.
And really small adjustment there by Suzu that paid off in the end, moving away from that smoke grenade to plant a little bit deeper inside of CCTV room. That caught off guard the Echo, who was trying to yokai default, and although his gadget is technically AoE, you don't have to be that accurate with it. Suzu was still far enough away from the yokai blast he could confirm to get that plant down and just huddle back up inside of dirt while that lurk by Garage is also going off, which sure, you only had one kill confirmed by Arculi pushing in from Garage, but that still caused enough chaos to get the rest of Northeption off the attention of trying to retake and spend a little bit more time, which in the end kind of paid off as they had no idea where Suzu fell off of, and him just hiding in dirt for the final few seconds was able to net the last 2 kills to save the round for Cyclops.
Here we are into Staff open area. See what different flavors are going to be brought. Still getting the yokai, still getting the oryx. Yokai? The Echo with the yokais and the oryx. But different operators being brought. Again, priorities for Northeption on those shotguns. There's what? Four, well, if you count the bailiff as well, 4 shotguns available to Northeption to open up as much of the map as possible, doing a bit of redecorating.
Suppose so. You talked about that versatility point. That definitely still stands, having so many options for soft destruction, even a few impact grenades to boot as well for the Echo. Seems like could come into effect later on, but for now we'll focus on the calmer bits of the round. Cyclops looking to potentially get a little bit more proactive on this top floor. I mean, they have Black Ray on the Amaru, so at some given moment, a Gara Hook trying to hop in through either one of the CEO window repels or on top of the roof for a cutoff angle makes a lot of sense. But who else can try to immediately assist Black Ray? I'm not too sure. It might be a composition more focused on having teammates, you know, watching for the fall off on that top floor and trying to have Black Ray just be the major spearhead of that top.
They're looking more like that traditional clear top to bottom. But there's all those proximity alarms to deal with. Plus, quite a few players lurking around that top floor. Montan's going to be clearing out from underneath, but that's the first one. Arcudi goes down, so on that flank, Seo-chan takes the first, and that's the whole western flank completely gone for Cyclops. If they want to try and test that, they're going to have to rotate all the way back round. Don't know if they're going to have enough time because already half the round is gone.
And there hasn't been a lot of map control gathered here by Cyclops as well. It's a few people pushed up from blue stairs, one person above watching the flank over by that janitor hall near top square. And also you've got Chibi, who is by Ebok, just opening up that castle barricade, allowing a bit of ease of access here for Anaton. He might just have to fully commit to this execute inside of Kitchen and just hope that he can get that diffuser down without really any denial besides the Echo.
Ooh, okay. Black Ray taking down Seo-chan. Yokai's doing what yokais do best, denying the Monty from trying to plant, but that castle barricade is actually starting to work out as it's denying the line of sight into the kitchen, into the staff room. But I gotta be careful. Shuri could potentially blow open that server hatch, jump up blue stairs. The engagement's going to be swinging around that corner. And there we go. There's the denial of the first. The Monty goes down. And now Suzu's just traded places, hunkered behind the kitchen counter. Black Ray's going to try and assist the team, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, the jump out. Nina takes one. Shuri closes it out, and Northeption bounce back in afar. You know, they take advantage of Cyclops' kind of mistake of being very one-dimensional, and they look a lot better in that regards.
I believe Northeption figured out that Cyclops, their only option was to just go in the bomb site and hope they can set up another post-plant position like they did back in round number 1. So everyone just kind of fell off of the roam, didn't even try to flank or do anything, you know, too out of the ordinary, and just played for bodies since they already had that man advantage, winning that first opening engagement against the Habana, who's all the way by Shark. So just playing off the utility they had bundled up in the bomb site, and once again, just playing for numbers, especially having all those horizontal angles with the help of those shotguns. I mean, we saw the entire quad wall soft. That is so atypical for the bomb site of open area. I was a little bit flabbergasted to see that in the final minute, Novi. So having all of these angles to play off of and guarantee that no one can comfortably get in the bomb site to plant that diffuser, it went a really long way for Northeption.
Now, what are we going to see? Any differences here? Onto that top floor. CEO, Maestro, Azami. I felt like something was missing, and it's that Azami. There we go. You know, of course, Solus being open, we've already seen her being played, but Azami's another one of those huge power picks that seems to be getting permanently banned so far. If it's not for Solus, it's usually Azami. Those Kiba barriers can be hugely influential in rounds. Nina could be potentially exposed here just with the hatch underneath in open area. Arkuli is watching it, but there we go. Both players sort of staring each other out. We're in a bit of a standoff right now between them.
Yeah, some solid info gathered here by Iana in the first minute or so, even having that drone set up in the prep phase and just waiting for the Azami to overextend a little bit. But there is no pressure by the top of square looking into stock, so for the time being, I believe Nina can just sit here quite comfortably. Yeah, there's really not a lot done to burn through that ADS or try to destroy that Kiva barrier, and Nina now just falls back, not even looking to engage, just wasting more and more time in that stock position, as the rest of Cyclops is looking to maybe try something a little different, getting Anaton inside of ATM, having the help of Suzu as well. He could probably get that Kanto wall opened up with the Excaris charges. So once that happens, you could maybe see a gold stairs and also marble attack looking in for Cyclops, as they have a lot of that downstairs pressure they could establish with both vertical and grenades.
Arkuli had to burn through one of those frag grenades to clear out that Kiva barrier and actually get control of that area. Now Cyclops is now working through from the west side, through in main lobby, up spiral stairs. And that's where that Monty's going to start paying dividends, especially once they open up that long angle all the way through with the Hibana. But player just to the right. Don't know if they've been pinged out in the elevator. There we go. Maestro has been revealed. Frag grenade goes out. Nina gets the first onto Black Ray. That's first blood. Yamaru no longer in play. Cyclops playing in a 4v5 again. Northeption looking very comfortable in their defense. Maybe it's up to Arkuli, who's going to be the player to make the difference and bring Cyclops back in the round.
Nina's on the roam. He's fully aware of Arkuli's position too, the audible cue by the top of square stairs. Such patience here by the Azami, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. There's a bit of damage, but can't confirm the kill. And from behind shows up Chibi, the buck to assist the Iana. Now they've got full square control to help assist the rest of Cyclops.
A rare mistake from Nina, not just quite able to find the headshot, but it doesn't matter. The rest of Northeption ripping them apart. CAG fall by the wayside, and the Maestro with the order shows why that gun is so goddamn terrifying.
Unfortunately there for Cyclops, no one was immediately to the aid of Anaton, playing all by himself in the gold stairs. Sure, you had Suzu still over by that Kanto wall, looking all the way down that hallway, but there was no one directly next to him, so Anaton wasn't as threatening as he could be by gold stairs. And with Northeption fully aware there were two other attackers across the map by square, they did a solid job of isolating those two attackers across the map and then just refocusing the rest of their attention on the Montaigne, who was again isolated, and Suzu, who was, well, outside of the building with just about 30 to 40 seconds left to go. So he couldn't even accomplish all that much if he found a trade or two still playing outside. Really well done by Northeption to keep things calm and collected, and also catch Black Ray off guard to start things out on the right foot with that opening kill by Nina, despite having a bit of trouble during the late round.
And this is maybe one of the big question marks we had with Northeption. We know that Nina is very good. Incredible, in fact. The rest of the team, stat-wise, not so good, and leaving a little bit left to be desired. Could the rest of Northeption step up to the plate and deliver, even when, you know, Nina makes the rare occasional mistake or gets taken out early into the round? And Northeption look like they've done their homework. They've had something good for breakfast, because they're coming in with a storm so far this game.
Really keeping that consistency to match against Cyclops' tempo, even winning a solid amount of entry engagements too against Cyclops. So a really good showing so far in this first half, but not over just yet. You've got Chibi getting a little more aggressive on this top floor, looking for that first engagement, and Shu just walks right into him. Even an info on the buck, couldn't win that 1v1. And now Chibi's going to have a lot more wiggle room to get this vertical down, and Black Ray watching the flank as well. Perfect teamwork displayed by Cyclops to find 2 separate 1-for-1 engagements, and the roam is effectively flatlined in just under a minute. This is a fantastic bounce back by Cyclops.
Yeah, this looks like a completely different Cyclops compared to the first time or the last couple of rounds we've seen them attack. No Monty as well, so looking probably to throw those smokes out on the Twitch, get grounds. But Goyo up the spiral stairs. Good. There. Oh, this is. Oh, don't do it to him. There we go. I knew it. I was just waiting for him to 180 and just headshot him, but it didn't happen. Nicely done by Sochan, and that gives just the briefest moments of respite to the rest of the team. And Sochan finds another one onto Black Ray as well. The round is potentially falling apart for Cyclops, but the plant is starting to be stuck. The smoke goes out. I don't think it goes close enough, but there's all the frag grenades. The C4 as well to close it out. With 1 minute remaining, it's a 2 versus 3. There's only one player in server close to the site near the diffuser. The other one is way up there. And Anaton needs to get close enough to the team to start having effect. But the fact that the hatch is open is disastrous because they can just cover it. Anaton has everything left to do with a little bit of time left in the round to do so. But it seems doubtful. The punch hole from Yuki's is going to keep him at bay and just waste as much time as possible as he approaches around the corner, switches to the bearing. Well, the SMG-11 goes close, and there we go. Trades the kill, and now be the round. North Eption get another one and winning that basement after CAG had such a good start to the round as well. Very impressive stuff.
Yeah, you had the 50-50 gunfight that Chibi ended up winning against Shu, and there was flank watch by the Iana top square. That's 2 1-for-1s grabbed almost for free by Cyclops, and they start working down vertical. They begin to push a little bit closer into the bomb site. They're doing the correct thing, but North Eption realized that they have to get aggressive to try to slow down Cyclops. You can't just allow Cyclops to start their execute in a 5-on-3 when your focus in that round was much more towards that top floor extension, trying to roam a little bit and waste time. With you not wasting any time and now being down a huge man disadvantage, you've got to get aggressive and work for picks. And having, especially Sayo and also Yukiz right behind him, regaining that top floor, and like you mentioned, Novi, trying to use the hatches against the attack, make sure that plant isn't going to go down comfortably. That was the final nail in the coffin. On top of Sayo just finding a quadra kill. That guy was doing God's work in round number 4. After North Eption win 3 straight rounds in a row, I think we're getting a timeout here by Cyclops to try to think things through a little bit better in this first half.
Yeah, they need it. This is something that, for me, from an outsider point of view, is the most frustrating element of watching Siege, is when teams are in a bad position and they just don't take timeouts. It boggles my mind. I hate it. Cyclops, good on them to take that break, take that pause, slow down the momentum, because the first round, they looked really, really good. Second round, went a bit awry. Third, sort of got away from them. Fourth, it looked like they should have won that based on the opening. You've got this negative momentum just going against you, and that briefest 30 seconds just to pause, take a breath, talk about what's going wrong and what happened, or even just to calm down, is very, very helpful. And maybe that's the experience from Cyclops to know when to take that pause and take that break to fix things before it gets too far gone.
North Eption probably going with the good old-fashioned saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Opting to go back into open area with a complete replica of what they had last time. Still having the yokais, effective with shotgun as well. Surprised we haven't seen a lot of Echo shotgun picks so far by North Eption, but hey, let him cook. Maybe we'll see a little bit more action by him in this round in particular. Cyclops, though, they're going to have to completely reinvent the wheel. They tried going rather direct in from E-Box and Blue to try to go through Square and get into Kitchen to plant that diffuser. But again, with a lack of map control on that top floor, they didn't really have a lot of pressure to push back any of the anchors that North Eption still had in that 5 versus 4. So trying to get a little bit more proactive on that top floor could be a really solid remedy. If not, then at the very least pushing back some defenders in through Archive so you can maybe get a cutoff established looking through that admin office. And so far for Cyclops, they have at least a few people pushing up on the roof. Both Black Ray and I believe it was the Buck of Chibi might be trying to gather a bit of info and pushing their way in from the top of Square. But so far, it's been relative silence besides those two positions I've just talked about, and they might not have a lot of utility to really spare against this Frost who's currently extended inside of stock.
Ooh, okay. Nina getting completely rolled by Black Ray. No Kiba barrier is going to save you this time. And that is the star player for Northampton going down very, very early on. Half the round still remaining. But Northampton has been in this position before. They know how to come back from it, but it depends. What is Cyclops going to have changed from last time? Northampton managed to get a cheeky pick, or try to. Arkuli gets the next one onto Sayo-chan. So that's the castle, the hero from the previous round, completely removed from the server. And this is starting to become quite dire straight. Shuri with the off angle, but not able to control the recoil. Goes away, not able to find the headshot. That is disastrous. And Arkuli takes another one for the tally. With 50 seconds remain, it looks like Cyclops is ready to push in onto the site with the smokes, with the Monty, and start getting that plant down.
Really no way for these yokais to come out and shine, since you could have just your Ash try to lurk down through that back hallway, where currently the Echo is lying in wait. He'll get a little more aggressive inside of open area and look to rotate, but there's someone watching it. Black Ray, perfect coverage. It's only Yukiz left now, and a 1 versus 3 technically, as Suzu has been caught by a frost mat and now finished off with that MPX. So things look a little more doable for Northampton overall, but there's still a Montaigne that's currently guarding this diffuser, that being Anaton, and now stuck on the deployable shield. Yukiz will have to try to close this gap and look for any one for ones he could possibly get. The shield pushed back just a little bit here by Yukiz, but the unextension pays dividends for Anaton being such class with the Montaigne. Cyclops finally get around that they desperately needed in this first half against Northampton.
And Anaton sort of playing with his food right there, having a bit of fun. And Cyclops, this is their map pick. I was a bit worried when they went, well, 3 rounds in a row without winning one. But they seem to have bounced back. That break, that timeout, has paid dividends so far. And if they can close out another round, bring it to a 3-3 round differential, they're going to be very, very happy as we go into the halftime switch. But it's the final round. Top of this half, top floor, CEO, and we saw Northampton here before looking very, very comfortable.
The Montaigne wasn't very effective last time this site was in play, and Anaton might be opting to go for something a little more aggressive in comparison to the French Mountain. To maybe keep the Glaz in pocket, as the rest of Cyclops looks to keep a fairly similar lineup. Suzu on the ace, so you could either see more of a square focused execute or still that range destruction you see across the map over by Elevator, looking through that Canto wall position, which is where a lot of people on Cyclops last time the site was in play were trying to push in from. But again, with that emphasis on the verticality by Chibi on the Buck and also Black Ray with grenades, I can imagine we'll still see people playing underneath to look for those opening engagements, whether it be via a grenade or, again, that vertical pressure, forcing someone on Northampton in a bad position, especially since a lot of the, I guess, defensive kit that Northampton has for this round is pretty anchor-focused. You've got a Doc, a Warden, a Smoke. I mean, a lot of people that are going to be sitting in positions and trying not to move the whole round.
But my eyes are on Shureep. You know, previously he's been on the Oryx, those rotations, and just has not worked out at all for Northampton. He then got put on to more supportive things like the Mute. Now with the Doc, gives a bit more credence for the extra HP, and Nina is not going to be first blooded. Instead, Uno reverse card onto Black Ray. That's the Iana taken out. That's both frag grenades removed, plus the replicator as well. So early on, that's disastrous for Cyclops. A huge bit of information, and your top frag are no longer in the game.
A little wow. And a pretty good reaction as well by V-Bar, able to just expect Chibi to work some of that vertical on the Buck. And now both your players on the first floor have been shut down in just about a minute 20. Impressive work by Northampton. And I'm a little shocked that for Cyclops, they weren't expecting Nina to be as aggressive. That was the same position that Black Ray was trying to poke and prod at back in round number 3. And it was also the same position that Nina was looking down through the hatch, or actually was a little bit of vertical next to the hatch. But needless to say, Northampton, the anticipation of those two engagements are going to set them straight with a 5-3 advantage. And Cyclops are looking to try to bounce back from this. You still have the Ash lurking around, a little bit of info being gathered by, I believe it's Anaton, so trying to lead him forward in the right direction. And Suzu is in the basement, out of all positions with the diffuser, maybe looking to catch any roamers that could be down there. But in the meantime, he'll try to move a little bit closer towards his teammates so they can play together towards Marble Stairs and maybe try to go somewhere else perhaps as well. He's trying to work up Marble without that Canto wall opened up could lead you into a very deadly crossfire.
Still being careful. The fact that Nina could be playing that vertical angle, but no. Nina has disappeared into the ether. A different area. Shurip is approaching on that dock, gets destroyed by Arkuli. It's a double peek anyway. And now the side of Cyclops have all grouped up, all three in the same area. They can look forward, try and push for that site execute. 20 seconds. The Glaz is glowing with that scope, looking through the smokes to try and find any kind of defenders back on the site. Yuki's is the recipient. Anatan looking for another one, goes down to Fever. Arkuli again, another kill in this round, but the plant is denied. Arkuli with so much more incredible stuff, but no way is this going to work. This should be the round. And just like that, Northeption get another one, but Arkuli was so close to bringing that within striking distance.
And for a bomb site like CEO, I'm really shocked that Cyclops just didn't have anybody on the CEO window repels, not even someone trying to, pretend to have a little bit of pressure established in that location. And as well with Northeption realizing that there was no one playing on the CEO window repels for that execute, the final dying moments of that round, they had the luxury to be a little more aggressive and a little more forward facing when trying to stop that plant position down from square heading into the bomb site of CEO. You saw how aggressive the Jaeger was in that position. That forced Anaton to overextend into the other defender who was by long desk. So there was an immediate trade by Anaton after he killed the first guy by Janitor. So a lack of that pushback for Cyclops to try and get that plant down, it really left them little to no options. And a 4-2 split against Cyclops, I think that is more than what you could ask for here for Northeption. That's a pretty impressive first half on your opponent's map.
But this is where it gets a bit more difficult into that attacking side, and seen many a team exposed when they're not on the defensive.
Attackers are moving out to locate a
Different. Well, actually, no, pretty damn similar lineup for Cyclops, and same with the attack as well. A few things have changed out. Of course, no Monty, which seemed to be favored by Cyclops quite heavily. The Thermite being brought along with the Ash. Everything else seems fairly as standard. And you can see that it looks like Northeption is going to go top to bottom, work their way through, already burning, using that Ash to blow open those keeper barriers and just apply pressure onto Suzu so he can't hold open area. That'll force him out. And, they know with Nina playing pretty much the same role, just literally just upstairs, how to deal with it. Don't try and contest those keeper barriers, destroy the utility, get him out of there, and then push in. And they're taking the safer route.
Maybe looking to get some of that vertical to force away Suzu, because these Ash charges haven't really done a lot to keep Suzu out of open area. There's still roamers up above as well. What is the go-to here for Northeption? They're going to at least get an angle opened up from E-Box, now working their way a bit closer towards that kitchen portion of the map. But besides this, there isn't a lot of pressure really being put down by Northeption. Anaton, he's even getting aggressive by Archives as well. He could maybe cause a little bit of chaos here, especially if Northeption is just unaware of his position, but it seems like they are pretty in the know about there being someone over by Archives, someone over in top square is looking to push him away. So a bit of map control now gained for Northeption, but not to the extent that they would be allowed to start, putting pressure down on those hatches by open area and admin.
Oh, there's the first engagement. Arkuli carrying on a dominant performance from the previous round is transgressing into this half. And that'll be the first onto Nina. So a big player off the table. That Iana is gone. The Replicator as well. That removes not just the frag and prowess, but also the information gathering that could come from that Replicator. But Yuki's replies in kind onto that Ash. And that will at least even things up just a little bit in the last 50 seconds. Anatan getting tagged onto that Echo. If that Echo goes down, that removes the ability for the Yokais later on. That will make it safer for Northeption to plant. They're going to refocus their attention back to the site and now looking to get the plant down in the last 30 seconds. Suzu isn't close to the site. The plant is being stuck. There doesn't seem to be any denial. There's the explosions going out. The C4 as well, not going to catch anyone. And that's so much utility removed. The first Toxic Babe goes out. There is 2 more available. The next one has already been placed to go off. If North Eption doesn't have a denial, they're just going to have to run through the smoke. Sits behind the bomb. Viva is going to try and stick it. Chibi takes the first one in the engagement. Shuri replies. Chibi denies the plant with 5 seconds to go. Incredible. Cyclops being the last player alive, but no! Shuri runs on in, and despite the heroics to deny the plant, the attackers win the round, and North Eption, in dramatic fashion, are able to push their round differential even further in their favor, 5-2. Not at all what I was expecting going into this game.
And luckily, still having that hatch presence as well, you could be a little more proactive when trying to cover that diffuser, even getting into the bomb site, getting your hands a little dirty, and really guaranteeing that Cyclops have no second chance at trying to keep things close, moving into that second half. A well-needed round win for North Eption, considering how defender-favored that basement floor bomb set of CCTV can be, and Cyclops almost had it in the bag, just simply playing off of time. North Eption didn't have an amazing first start to their attacking round just a moment ago. It took them forever just to get control over by Archives, and that eventually transpired to them working their way down into server for that default plant. But with only 30 seconds to go, and there still being 3 Toxic Babes left, Cyclops, I mean, they had the perfect remedy to stop that plant, but detonating one charge just a little too early, it gave a bit more room to breathe for North Eption, literally and figuratively, as they push deeper into the bomb site, on top of having that coverage of the hatch, just to guarantee that no one can try to flank or do anything crazy last minute.
Fantastic stuff by North Eption. And I mean, the depth of mechanical skill as well coming out from these players. The fact that before this game, just purely from a stats point of view, it seemed like maybe there was an imbalance in terms of the fragging ability. It certainly has proved me wrong. North Eption looking on fire so far, and now they've brought the Monty as well. But for the first time so far, we're seeing 2 new operators appear in this round. Actually 3 with the Ying as well, 4 with the Flores. But on the defensive side, that's where my eyes are drawn. The Pulse fellow and the Mirror as well. Very, very different style of defense than we saw North Eption adopt on their half.
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Maybe looking to be a bit more focused on that window denial, having the mirror window by Janitor. The second someone tries to hop in, you're going to have info of it. You'll know when exactly to swing, get a bit aggressive. And having your Warden play behind that mirror window, it denies any kind of space that Sayo-chan can make on that operator. So pretty good counterplay so far by Cyclops, just by simply bringing out the correct operators. But they're still going to have to focus on the lobby pressure being established by the Montaigne. Again, a similar problem that Cyclops had when they were attacking this top floor is having no one to immediately assist the Montaigne. But I could imagine that at least the Ace will be trying his best to just hold down from those rappel angles, hoping that Shu can cover enough space to maybe pressure out people like Blackman.
Oh, there's the engagement onto the toes of the Monty, making him dance, but Chibu is the first one to take first blood. Suzu replies onto the Monty as well, following up a quick 1-2 jab from North Eption. Oh, well, from Cyclops to deny North Eption that control on Spiral and in the main lobby. But there's the response. Nina with a quick double. What on earth happened? What was that lineup to get those 2 kills? And suddenly Cyclops falling by the wayside, giving a level playing field for Nina just to do what Nina does best, going aggressive through the skylight, trying to find the next kill. But no, the angle aiming slightly to the right, not aware that Anatan has already slipped around a second, using that Black Mirror to good effect. Anatan is ripping them to shreds. Sayo-chan's going to try and keep them in the round, but that Black Mirror is going to cause huge problems as Anatan closes the round and single-handedly brings Cyclops closer to recovering this game.
Yeah, great isolation there by Cyclops onto the Montaigne, completely halting that push coming up from Gold Stairs. Everyone can re-advert their focus back onto the window repels, which North Eption couldn't get the ball rolling in that department because they didn't have any kind of utility to push away the Warden, for example, who was still comfortably sitting inside of Square. Not only that, but when there were people beginning to push their way up from the top of Square, That's when the Warden, in fact, doubled down on the aggression and actually pushed in through that General Hall. And with no information, North Eption were completely unaware of someone being prepared for a square-sided attack for at least the final minute of that round. There was just simply no way to get any proper headway into that top floor by North Eption. Cyclops at least having a little bit of resurgence here in their defensive half, but still a pretty decent advantage here for North Eption going through the rest of the second half.
Yes, it started off very poorly, but then Nina brought them close, at least onto that even Stevens playing field to have a chance before Anaton ripped them a new one. And Arkuli, I mean, that was just domination through and through. And Cyclops building that momentum up, seeing where they can go, looking very, very comfortable. See if that break has paid dividends to North Eption as we get back into things. And also, more importantly, what site are we going to see Cyclops adopt? That is the question. We're going down into the basement. Of course, no Kaid available. Very similar lineup, but also taking Nita's army, interestingly, for that basement. Something that North Eption didn't do. So obviously prioritizing that operator with the Kiva barriers as well.
We saw this earlier by Cyclops having a pretty extension-focused comp, trying to waste as much time as they can, both on the top and middle floor, before you actually see the execute unfold for North Eption, and really changing their lineup as well by North Eption. They've brought out several hard breachers, maybe expecting a different bomb site. They get off the ace last second, now bringing out a little more info-focused operator up the Lion. So potentially trying to deal with this extension directly by having a little bit more focus on hard breach rather than trying to go direct. It seems like a probable idea, but also in terms of range destruction, they are lacking in that. So trying to get rid of, power positions that Suzu's going to be building up with those key barriers is going to be pretty taxing as well in that same breath.
Going to be relying on those frag grenades, the Ash, maybe even the X-Kairos, depending on the position. But the Lion, Nina, looks like maybe instead of the Monty to get that information, they're going to be relying on the Lion instead. Means that they can go for those fast pushes in. They did try the Ying last round, didn't work out for them. Wasn't able to get a foothold. And there's the first rumble. No information being revealed, no red pings. Juve is aware that there is an Azami directly opposite him in that open area. Keep barrier already down from the frag grenade. Not going to risk it unless going for the... Ooh, the timing! No, gets taken out Shuri. Phenomenal stuff. That is not a easy angle to hit either. And to be fair, Suzu had an idea as well for that peak, just wasn't quite quick enough or accurate enough to take it. But Shuri running through, going to get the information that the Warden's on the stairs. Now backs off, but knows it's free to jump into open area and start establishing map control for North Eption.
I love the aggression there by North Eption, making sure no one can retake open area. Such a vital part of your attacking execute when it comes to dealing with that server side of the map. And speaking of the server pressure, we've got the Thermite just about now getting an exothermic charge deployed on that single wall to try to get that default plant down, or at least pressure it later on. But there's info here for the Oryx roaming up above. Our Cully just pulls the trigger a little bit too late, but the plant's going down, Novi, and there's no denial for it. Fantastic coverage by Sayo-chan. Sure, he's been knocked on the ground, but luckily the plant has been confirmed for North Eption, and they're up a body as well with hatch control. What can Cyclops do in this 2 versus 3?
Yeah, that hatch is going to be devastating for that retake. So much coverage for North Eption. Chibi just rotating all the way around, but there's so little time. You have to literally sprint all the way there, otherwise you're not going to have enough time. Start to take out some of these players, but that plant is bulletproof, denying Chibi from getting anything. Finally takes down Yuki's, but it's too little, too late. The Warden's going to activate the smart glasses, but it's not enough. Going to be dropping through the server hatch. That'll be the round. North Eption is going to move on to map point on Cyclops map pick.
And I'm so shocked with all the utility that Cyclops had. Nobody was watching for a potential plant. The second you hear that wall open up in server going in a CCTV room, you have to expect the worst. That North Eption is either trying to get aggressive into the bomb site or they're trying to plant in the bomb site. Either way, you should be expecting some sort of response by your opponents, and Cyclops just had nothing to react with. They had their smoke and Echo just too far away to bring out their Yokais or Toxic Babes. They just allowed the plant to go down, and after that, with Northeption once again having solid coverage with the hatch presence up above and a few people by square, there was really nothing that Cyclops could do except hope they win those 50-50 gunfights and can also get back into the bomb site in a timely manner, which really neither one happened for Cyclops, and because of that, they're at the gun barrel of match point against them on their own map pick of bank. Really, Northeption have been here to put up.
Pleasantly surprised. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong, especially when we're seeing some good siege. We're seeing open area, the castle being brought out solus as well. Of course, helping with that information denial. But Northeption, bringing the Thatcher and the Osa, they seem very, very comfortable in their attacks. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing. Cyclops, though, leaving a lot left to be desired. And they bring it round. 3 rounds in a row required. Have to be flawless on their defense just to bring it to OT. Or are they going to fall by the wayside and give Northeption map advantage going into their own pick of Oregon following this one?
Looking all too good here for Cyclops. Yukaz, luckily not receiving any damage after opening up that castle barricade as well. A direct entryway into the bomb site, but they'll probably have to get one of these walls opened up, looking into kitchen proper so they can push back Black Reyes. With all these Kiba barriers deployed and with no Flores in sight, Black Ray is going to be pretty comfortable just playing close to this double door and denying any immediate entryway that Northeption could use to get into that bomb site. You had the Ace for a moment there watching over by Archives. Luckily, he doesn't lose his life, but in turn doesn't win that gunfight. Still the 5 versus 5 with a lot of pressure being put down by Cyclops. There's the flank attempt by Chibi, but unfortunately, a trade immediately transpires after that. So the Orcs now shut down. All you have to worry about is eventually Archives in that blue staircase, but both defenders have actually fallen away.
There's the Warden going down. Nina takes down Arkuli. That's a big kill to find with the Warden. With the fact that there's still flashes, smokes available on the side of Northeption, means that Cyclops is running out of tools to pay dividends. They haven't been able to open up that wall into kitchen. They do have a line of sight. They can't walk through it, so still going to have to tunnel through the actual... There we go. You can see Solus being like, I'm getting spotted by something. He uses the gadget to get out. Should be available to run out. Os is pushed all the way up with the shield into a very advantageous position. Can he plant from there? Might just be close enough. Black Ray, it's pretty much going to be all on him to try and deny this. Not sure which way they're going to be pulled from. There we go. Just about sees the Osa. There's so many keeper barriers. So much area in which he can hide and play around from. Shuri's going to step out. There's the first. Black Ray is removed. Smoke is deployed so they can immediately start planting. But look at the flurry of utility coming out. Frag grenades and smokes and flashes and all the likes. Which way and what? And there we go. That is the round. Northeption's upsetting CAG, taking their own map pick away from them. Northeption take the lead in the series in a dominant fashion, 7-3.
Brilliant coordination as well towards that final round for Northeption, having someone over by printer window, plenty of coverage from both the quad wall and the double door looking into kitchen. Everything was accounted for there by Northeption to secure that 7-3 victory, but I really can't say the same for CAG.